はい、こんにちは、ニルダです。それではディスコエリジウム続きをやっていきましょう。今回は、途中になっていた、ジョイスさんからの依頼ですね。この渋滞ミステリー、これについてやっていこうと思います。今分かっているのは、ハーブの原材料を密輸しているのが女性ドライバーじゃないかってことなんですね。なので、この女性ドライバーについて、またトラックの運転手たちに話を聞いてみたいと思います。そしたらね、なんだっけ、レイシストいたじゃん。この人にちょっと話聞いてみようか。
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
次に進む。
You could push him by asking him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching.
まずは、あんたが隠し事をしているのが分かってるんだ。白状しろ。女ドライバーはどこだと。
I don't know what you're talking about.
このトラック運転手は、なんか露天商のシーレングがやったって言ってたんですよね。ただシーレングはそんなこと知らないって言ってて、女ドライバーが怪しいんじゃないかって言ってたんですよ。まず、あんたはシーレングがやったんじゃないと知ってただろうと。
He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job. You should be thankful for the tip.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
はいはい。人種差別主義者だからね、シーレングのことが気に入らなくて嘘を言ったんでしょうね。それで、いいから、どれが女のトラックか言えと。
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
まどろっこしい子たちとやめといて、いいから女ドライバーが誰なのか言え。
You're all bark and no bite. The real dogs are up in Jamrock. Everyone knows that.
You mean la puta madre?
ラプータマードレってなんだ？
The name resounds like a bell in the air, a dark gong. You get a bad feeling about it.
そのラプータマードレってなんだろうね。次に進む。
Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
キムに考えが？じゃあお願いするわ。
Yeah, him.
誰だそのラプータ。
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
完全に無視されたね、キムにね。彼の出先ってなんだ？
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
おとなしくちょっと話を聞いてようか。
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
何も言わない。
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is.
このマードレっていうのはなんか力のある人物なのかもしれない。人物か組織の名前かは知らないけど。それで。
It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
じゃあそのマードレっていうのを引き合いに出して脅してんのか、キムは。
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
マードレっていうのはギャングなのかね、もしかしてね。それで、ギルドに守られてるから怖くないと。
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
男は新しいタバコに火をつけようとするが、今では手が震えていると。かなりビビってんだね、そのマードレっていう話に。
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod.
こっからは私だね。
I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job.
よしよし、いいぞ。これか。知っていることを白状させる。83% か。
Men like
よし、いいぞいい
this
ぞ。
only respect two things: strength and fear.
わかりやすいね。
Time to turn up the volume.
肉体系のスキルがなんかさ、いきなり出張ってきたよ。今すぐトラックの場所をはけ。女ドライバーのトラックはどこにある？
Fuck you! I told you! I'm not gonna.
主人公掴みかかったぞ、これ。それで。
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
どうしようかな。よし、これでいいや。あんたのトラックを見た場所は分かってるんだ。あれを焼き払ってやる。分かったか。恫喝だよ、これも。
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
緑色のトラック。女が誰かは知らないと。
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
あ、そう。
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
案外脅したらあっさり吐いたね。正確な場所を言え。
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
分かった。トラックを確かめに行くね。
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
はいはい。キツラギ警部補もだいぶ熱くなってるね。じゃあ失礼すると。じゃあ緑のトラックを探しに行くか。緑のトラックね。なんかみんな緑だからわかんないんだけどさ。トラックか。これか。ハイライトされてるからこれだろうね。で
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
はい。
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
そしたらウィンドウから中を覗く。
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and two steering levers.
はいはい。ドアを開けてみよう。
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
これあれかな。バールかな。バールで開ける感じかな。ちょっと待ってね。バールをじゃあ装備させるか。道具。これか。コンビニ袋下げたバール持ってるおっちゃんって怖くない？これでいい？
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire,
キム、
is
こい
parked
つはどう
in
やっ
the
て開けれ
shadow
ば
of
いい？
the...
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
そうだね。いいアイデアだ。
I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
これはもう肉体装置の得意分野だよな。97% って。じゃあこれで。
With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, Lorry Cannon.
ちょっと表現が大げさじゃないこれ。すごい嬉しそうだな、肉体装置。そしたら、エヴァショールにようこそと言ってから割る。
The window shatters and droplets of glass fly everywhere.
はい。
Subtle.
で、
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals.
はいはい。で、
There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
助手席がどこかおかしい。まあいいや、まず一つずつ調べてみるか。ポスター惚れ惚れと眺める。
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached. right above the back seat.
うんうん。
There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
匂いがする。一つ気になる。この匂いは何だ？
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume. Probably granate number 5.
ああ。なるほど。それで、あ、そっか。その持ち主が女性だってことだもんね。グラビアポスターを調べる。
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster.
はいはい。
Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly.
うん。いや、わかんないけど、写真見てないし。ポスター見てないからわかんないや。ポスターはもういい。
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
はいはい。じゃあ無線を調べる。
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed. Likely by the missing lady driver.
鍵が抜き取られてて操作はできないと。
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
なんで100以上の無線局が保存されてるの？なんでこれだけの数の無線局がいるんだ？
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
なんで普通のドライバーがそんなにね、対象範囲の広い無線機持ってんの？無線で何ができるか。
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
そうらしいね。じゃ
The
あ、
ghostly actresses and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat and the oddly bulging seat cover.
じゃあペダルを調べる。
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver.
いくつかくすねらんないかね。
But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
紙やすりがスロットルに貼り付けられている。
Sandpaper adds extra grip.
そうなんだ。ドライバーは紙やすりをスロットルに貼り付けているようだ。グリップ力を強化するためだろう。
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
紙やすりで右足の靴底の模様も消えてるはずだ。あれ？右足の靴底？
Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
そうそう、これ、事件現場の足跡の中に、靴底が摩耗しているものがあった。他の足跡より滑らかだった。そうだよね。あったね、そういえばそんなのが。
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
つまり吊るされた男が、殺害されたところ、裏庭に、この消えた女ドライバーって人が立ち会ってたってことだよね。つまり事件の時に立ち会ってたと。ハーブ取引も彼女の仕業か。なんて女だ。
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
7人？あれ7人ってさ、あれだよね。なんだっけあそこ。ワーリング・イン・ラグズのさ、組合員専用ブースにいたのも7人だったよね。この7人っていうのはさ、組合員かなもしかして。
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls, but there's something strange about the passenger
ここら辺
seat.
はまあいいとし
The
て。
radio transmitter sits on the center console, and the
助手席のカ
pull-out
バーを
toolbox
剥が
lies
す。
hidden under the driver's seat. Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
わらっつったね、今。それで、いくつかの道と高速道路がペンで縁取られていると。
Bonne prise.
これは何かあれか見つけたんでは？ 1枚目の地図を開く。
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South.
この印は何だ？
Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock.
はいはい。
And this person knows them all.
それで
There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mess of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
はい。道はどこにつながってるんだ？
To Kuron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
あれ、クーロンってどこだっけ？クーロンっていうのは、なんだっけ？高層ビルが立ち並んでるとこだっけ？で、2枚目の地図を開く。
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. No storm will ever drown Revachol, the great solution to the riddle of history. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own.
何の音だ？
The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights.
はい。じゃあ3枚目の地図を開く。
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. Despite the cold, figures move about cloaked in shadow, their breath escaping in white clouds that fade into the darkness. Wherever you look, the night gives cover to her messengers.
どこに向かってるんだ？
They travel from eminent domain to perdition and onto the main, over the river Esperance, on Route 881 to the Old South. The exit ramp is supposed to be shut down, but there's much activity.
それじゃあこれが一体どういうことを意味してるんだ？
The road spreads like the tentacles of a great octopus.
これが聞きたいんだよ。これはつまりどういう意味だ？
It means that the smugglers are secretly using the motorway to transport their goods and materials. They've infiltrated the East Motor Tract, most likely.
ちょっと待ってよ。イーストモータートラクトってさ、跳ね橋を管理してるとこじゃなかったっけ？なんだっけ、ジョイスさんのいる、なんだっけ、ワイルドパインズの、なんかその、関連会社っていうか、提携してる会社じゃなかったっけ？そこに潜入してる可能性が高い。それまずいんだよ。それで？
The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
金製品は最終的にどこに行き着く？
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the besmerti behind it.
そのベスメルティって何？どこかで聞いたような名前だ。
The besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes. But really, they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol.
ギャング組織。で
With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta. It's a dark parody.
あれこれラプータマードレってさっきレイシストを脅した時にキムが言ってた組織の名前か。ギャング組織なのね。わかった。黒幕は誰だと思う？
It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect.
組合が中心になってそのハーブの取引をやってるわけじゃないってことね。 ギャング組織のマードレが、そのハーブ取引には関与している可能性が高いと。
Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't paid well for those involved.
そっか。深く調べていくと消されちゃうわけね。怖いわ。
Especially bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know is there.
そうだね。その通りだね。書類を座席の下に戻す。
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later.
うん。
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable.
はいはい。
The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of
はいはい。
use.
それじゃあ、まあ大体、これか。引き出し式工具箱を開ける。
A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
じゃあ、新聞紙を広げる。
It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
紙切れ。メモを拾う。
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
ほうほう。それで
These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
それはわかる気がする。私もそういう複雑な数学の方程式とか見たら、頭痛くなると思うわ。
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
私はでも無線詳しくないから全然わかんないんだけど、あれかな、ちょっと特殊な周波数システムなのかね。それで引き出し式工具箱を閉じる。
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters already enclose the rusty old...
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
わかった。ジョイスに会う前に話があると。はい。そうか。でも大体ジョイスさんに報告するような材料は揃ったんじゃないって感じだけど。それじゃあれか。キムに話しかけてみるか。
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found. So we don't do it in front of the company rep.
はいはい。これも刑事の仕事っぽいな。で、あんたは見つけたものについてどう思うと。
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation.
まあその辺のなんかさ、なんだろう、小規模なギャングの仕業じゃないんだよね。大規模な犯罪組織が絡んでるってことだよね。で、次に進む。
I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
そうね、相当大規模なものらしいね。で、
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
何言ってるか全然わかんないけど。
Listening in on your calls between you and your station. A worrying prospect.
そうだね、なんか変な会話してないよね。次に進む。
Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info.
そうだね。そしたら、映画のポスターはハーブ取引とどういう関係がある？関係あんのか？
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
私もそう思う。
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
本当かよ。それ本当に？そうは思わないんだけど。そうね。彼女はいわゆる映画ファンなんじゃないか。
Yes, well.
Unimportant.
キムにスルーされてるよ。それで、組合とのつながりに関してはどう思う？
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Claire would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose.
うん、そうだよね。まだ会ったことないけどさ、その組合が絡んでる以上、そのビブラートって人が把握してないっていうことはないと思うんだよね。把握してるはずなんだよね。で、
My suggestion is we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
つまり今回得た材料を使って、組合に対抗しろと。RCM はこの件を捜査するのか。
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it.
そうね、それがいいかもね。もうこっちはさ、殺人事件の方で手一杯だもんな。
There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
うん。今何を考えている？
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
うんうん。そうね。汚職の可能性があるよね。汚職か。
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
はいはい。だったら RCM にね、調査を依頼してもさ、うまく調査できるかわかんないよね。わかった。確認は以上か。
Debrief over. After you.
はい。よし。よし、ハーブ取引についてちょっと分かってきたから、ジョイスさんとこに行って、一応この進捗を報告するか。ね。あれどうした？トラック運転手のトミーだっけ？なんだっけ？時間あるか？なんか話したいことが？
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
そうそうそう。何知ってんの？待って、じゃあ、この辺りで誰がハーブを密輸しているのか知っていたのか？
Nah, man. I was telling you the truth. I really didn't think it'd be her. She's okay. Sort of troubled, but still, a nice person.
じゃあ直接その女性と会ったことあんの？いい人なの？
What else do you know about her?
Nothing. We just talked a bit about life and stuff. She left me a key so I can park a lawyer if the jam broke. So, she in trouble or what?
キーを預かってるって、トラックのキー預かってたの？そんなに信用されてんのその女性から。そうね。あれ、どっちだろう。彼女については調査が入るって言っていいのか、それ。問題ない。彼女は大丈夫だ。こっちにしとこう。
Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
実はまだ聞きたいことがあるんだ。
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
はいはい。特に何もないか。とりあえず話は以上だ。じゃあなと。なんだろうね。知り合いだったのね。じゃあジョイスさんとこ行こう。それじゃあジョイスさんの方に報告だね。てかジョイスさん昨日からずっとここにいたの？
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
環状交差点で、運転手たちと話をしてきたぞと。
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
港にいる私の密偵。あなた密偵を放ってるんですか？待って、その密偵とやら具体的にどこから見張ってたんだ？知らなかったよ。
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
まあそうでしょうけどさ、あんまり気持ちがいいもんじゃないですね。
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
まあね。
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
キムうまくかわしたね。
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
そうそうそう。
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
なんで殺人事件を解決してもらわないと血の海を見る。どうして
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
いや、イチゴの味はしないと思う。で、血の海と言ったな。あれはどういう意味だと
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
おお。それはちょっと恐ろしい話だね。小規模な内戦に発展する危険をはらんでると。
Since you are sharing, man, this is also the RCM's worst case scenario.
そうね。ここら辺の治安を維持している RCM としてはちょっと見過ごすことができないね。
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
そうね。それで、このリンチ事件とストライキはどうつながってるんだ
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
このストライキにあたって、警護部隊っていう形でワイルドパインズ社が軍事機器を派遣したと。傭兵みたいなのを雇ったんかね。それで、一時的に信頼を失ったというのは、
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
組合の最初の要求を伝えた後、なんだっけ、組合の要求って。組合員全員を、なんだっけ、会社の取締役にしろっつったんだっけ。そんな内容だったっけ。それで、それを伝えたところ、会社側が、その軍事企業を派遣してきたと。
Every worker.
A member of the board.
あ、そうそう、それ
I
それ。
tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor.
なるほど。ワイルドパインズ社の重役たちはそれを真に受けたってことね。それで、警護部隊までつけるような状況なのかと。
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the union into surrendering.
そうね。武力で降伏させようとしたと。その傭兵部隊を使って。で、
Who are they exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
なるほど。クレネルってさっきさ、なんだっけ、ブーツの照合結果を聞いた時に出てきた会社の名前だよね。何度も名前を変えてるってところ。それで、私と彼の関係は劣悪なものになりつつあると。この傭兵部隊が勝手に武力を行使したりしたら、もう交渉どころの話じゃなくなっちゃうもんね。で、次に進む。
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
なるほど。それで
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allows some of the more militant union members to subdue him.
そういうことだったのか。その傭兵の一人が地元の女性を性的に暴行したと。それに怒った組合の武闘派のメンバーが制裁を加えたと。それでこの大佐って呼ばれている人物ってのが被害者なんだろうね。この武闘派の人たちってさ、ワーリング・イン・ラグズにいた、組合のメンバーの人たちじゃないかな。それで
He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
ですよね。はい。その後どうなった
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
残る2人はどこにいるんだ今のところ。
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
いやー、大変なことに。じゃあなんだっけ、雇われた傭兵たちが今度は組合に仕返しをしようって計画してるわけね。ああ、それは血の海になるわな。
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
調査
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
ああ、そういうことか。なるほど。
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
多分全員だろうね。ああ、どうすんだこれ。どうやって収めるんだこの事態を。それで、主人公のんきだな。どう考えてもこいつはディスコじゃないな。
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
説得力のある犯人を一人挙げてくれることと、事態を収めるために誰かを生贄にしろってことね。はいはい。それで
if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
まあそうなればね、全面戦争だね。
The Debarder have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
恐ろしいわ。
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
そうね。
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
そうだよね。
As I said, a bloodbath.
いや、ほんと文字通り血の海だね。
Maybe a good bloodletting is just what Martinez needs.
お前は何を言ってるんだ。こら、不謹慎なこと言ってるな。
Houses drenched in red, blood gushing down Rue de Saint-Cispar. The whole place mopped with a giant red rag. Fresh bullet holes for all the old buildings.
そうね。随分と救いのないシナリオを思い描いちゃいないか。
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
はい。説得力のある容疑者ってさ、あれでしょ、実際やってなくても説得力さえあればいいってことかね。それでクレネルについてどんなことを知っている？
Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
何回も名前変えてるって言ってたよね、社名をね。
They boast a long list of clients: Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions, and such.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
紛争地域での活動経験が豊富。
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
あんまりいい評判はないみたいだね。要するに任務中に少しばかり大佐が先住民のやり方を模倣しちまったかもしれないわけだと。
I wouldn't go as far as to use that term, detective.
まあね。なるほどな。奴らについて他にどんなことを知っている？
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
うん。今一応さ、アンナの方に、アンナだよね。身元調査をちょっとしてもらってるとこなんだけどね。
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ACP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I would be dealing with a group like Crenell.
うん。会社に連絡を入れてもらうことはできないか、本社から奴らに手を引くように言ってもらうんだ。どうだろうな。
I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
はいはい。まあ本人たちに連絡がね、取れるまで時間がかかるってことか。そしたら、個人が女性を暴行したと言ったかと。
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
まあね、これが真実だとしたら、まあ自業自得だけどね。そもそもそいつら自身、どこからその情報を得たんだ？
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
あ、そう。その運河のそばにいたというティーンエイジャーたちは何と言っていた？
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
なるほど。
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
暴行事件の報告は聞いてないと。
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too.
ちょっと待ってよ。ワーリング・イン・ラグズ？だったらさ、なんだっけ、ガルテがこのこと知ってるかもしれないよね。暴行事件のこと。
Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
その女はどこの誰だ？
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
で？
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
その被害者の女性にも会ってみないといけないのかな。よし、大体聞いたね。そういうことか。それじゃあ今、ジョイスさんが言ってた傭兵ですね。ワイルドパインズが雇ったっていう、その傭兵のところに行ってみようと思うんだけど、これかな？スト破りのリーダーにタトゥーについて尋ねると。港のゲートの近くに、その傭兵の一人がいるらしいんですよね。ここにちょっと行ってみようかと思います。ゲートって多分こっちの方だと思うんだけど、なんか人が集まってたよね。これ。それで、待ってね。このでっかい体のとこがそうなのかな。大丈夫主人公。なんかカエルうちにあったりしない？
Bastards!We have a right to work.
男が港のゲートに向かって叫ぶ。大勢いる中でこの男の声が一番大きい。 体格に似合わず妙に甲高い声だと。じゃあそれとりあえず、いつも通りの挨拶でいきますかね。俺が法だ。
Everyone understands you are the law. That's why you have that insignia on your arm. So you don't have to keep saying it.
いや、キム、そこはちょっと突っ込まないでほしいんだけど。
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
リーダー格の男があなたの方を向く。この場にいる誰よりも頭一つ分背が高いと。もう見るからに大男だよね。
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
なんで俺が
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
そういうことか。でもそうじゃない。
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work!
はいはい。
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
なるほど。それで、まあ、今のとこね、どっちの味方につくかはまだ決めていないんだけど。
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work! Right to work!
はい。Right to work! それで、あんたの言う大義とは具体的に何なんだと。
Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
まあね。基本的人権ってやつかな。違うか。それは置いといて、そう、それは置いといてね。あんたに聞きたいことがいくつかあると。
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
なるほどね。まあ、なんだっけ、組合側はストライキやってるけど、組合側にストライキされちゃうと、仕事が進まない人たちがいるわけなんですよね、きっとね。多分そういう人たちがここの前に集まってんでしょうね。それで、次に進む。
We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
そうですよね。まあ、言いたいことはわかるよ。
So do we, Scott.
これ誰だ？コールミーマニアーナ。どっから喋りかけてんだこの人一体。そうね。まず、あんたワイルドパインズに雇われてる傭兵か。すごい単刀直入な質問だよね、これ。
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
やっぱりこの人があれか、ジョイスさんの言ってたワイルドパインズが、雇ったっていう傭兵の一人かな。
His neck muscles tense up. The veins on his neck bulge.
まあ普通の労働者には見えないよね。静かにこうささやく、報復が実行される計画があったりするのか。ストレートに聞くな、これ。
Fucking Bob. How about you fuck off now, huh?
殺されるぞ。
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above, in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking. This is not the time.
わかった。そうだね、傭兵の仲間もう一人いるんだもんね。わかった。
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work dance back on. It's hard to do that when you want to beat a man into a pulp instead.
もう肉体装置はあるタトゥーの、解読を手伝ってもらえないかと期待してきたんだがと。あれね、死体の写真ね。
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
でもさ、その傭兵仲間しかわかんないって言われちゃったんだよね。あのタトゥーの意味は。そうだな。そしたらね、ストレートに聞こうか。あんたの大佐の体にあったものだと。
Wordless, he takes the photo and looks at it. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face, you see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melting skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
クソったれの腰巾着どもにやられたんだなと。何腰巾着
Yeah.
He's clenching his teeth. There is silent pressure behind them.
クソったれの腰巾着ってつまりあれかな。組合の会長やってるイブラートの腰巾着って言いたいのかな。それで、タトゥーの意味については何かわかるのか。
What it means.
男は複雑な線の中からある小さな星を指さす。被害者の心臓から遠く離れた腹に近い一点を。
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here?
知りたい知りたい。
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush in Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission. He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kipped villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
で
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
何なんか不吉なあれだね、言い方だね。男の話を遮らずに置くと。
Our boy, he's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon.
男の声は妙に静かだ。働く権利を主張するそれとは大きくかけ離れている。鋭い視線は写真に突き刺さったままだと。
At dawn, he comes upon two kips, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding.
それで
We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old.
とりあえずね、こいつらが最低だってことは分かったよ。何も言わない。
She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch.
で
God. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her gold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now.
胸くそ悪くなる話だな。聞かなきゃよかったよ。
Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass.
Something stirs in your stomach.
Me too. 私もだよ。ムカムカしてきた。
There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless, odorless. It's...
それで、あんたは本当はスト破りのリーダーなんかじゃないだろう。まあ、当たり前だよな。
Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off.
あんたもその場にいたのか。
No, I was somewhere else. That's just a guess as to what this one little star on his belly might mean. I'm just a bouncer.
結局じゃあタトゥーのことを教えてくれないのかね。そしたらね、こいつを返してもらっていいか。
Go ahead.
はいはい。
All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
実は俺も港に入りたいんだ。
Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Trying to meet their fat boss.
あ、そうそう、イブラートってのにも会わなくちゃいけないんだよね。ここで起きた殺人事件について聞き込みをしていると。あそこのホステル兼カフェテリアの裏で起きたんだ。
I know nothing about a murder.
嘘つけよ。知ってるだろ。絶対知ってるでしょ。
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him. Interesting.
何をそんなに緊張してるんだ？
What are you talking about? I'm not tense.
Yes, he's tense. And dangerous. Somewhere below it all.
Oh.
Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
そしたら、それは俺の専門外だ。
We are not picking a side in this just yet, sir.
はいはい。
Pity. Let us work!
このスト破りたちは一体何者なんだ？
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
それは確かに言えてる。
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
それじゃあこのスト破りの人たちの目的は具体的に何なんでしょうね。
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
ここに働きに来てたわけね。ただゲートが閉まってて、中に入れないと。がゲートを突破できずにいるということか。
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open and try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel.
見張りがいる。
And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is.
ヘッドメジャー。これあれか、なんか前に出てきたね、メジャーヘッドって呼ばれてたけど。待って、ヘッドメジャーだと
Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him.
あ、そうなんだ。そうは言っても相手は一人だろう。あんたならなんとかなりそうじゃないか。
Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained.
なるほど。
I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters.
そうね。なんか言ってたよね。そういえば。組合側がその用心棒雇ったってどっかで聞いた気がするんだけど。なんかメジャーヘッドとか言ってたよね。ここにいる全員で突入しようとは考えないのか。これだけいるんだぞ。いや、さすがに無理だろ。
Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look.
確かにね。ホテルにいた奴らに一回殺されましたから。
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge.
なるほどね。ここで騒いでチャンスを待ってるわけだ。
He seems to be following his orders well enough for now. But beneath it all, there is a boiling rage and a dangerous carelessness.
まあそうだろうね。多分自分の上官だった大佐って人を殺されたわけだからね。組合側に。
Do not be fooled by the programming. There is a precarious balance inside him, keeping him in check. But it's shaky as hell, and he's tired of it all.
はいはい。まあいつ切れてもおかしくないって感じかな。俺はそろそろ退散するよと。なるほどね。それでなんとかしてこの先に行かなくちゃいけないんだよね。イブラートだっけ？組合の会長のイブラートに会いに行かなくちゃいけないから。 どうやって入ろうかな。まあとりあえずジョイスさんが言ってたその傭兵の一人には接触できたんだけど、まだわからないことはたくさんあるね。それではちょっと時間長くなってきちゃったんで、今回はここで終了したいと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。また次回もよろしくお願いします。